Hello, Capricorn, and welcome to Indigo Rising Tarot. Thank you so much for joining me today, and I hope you're having a great day. I feel like we're starting to get through the wintry months and get towards spring, which I'm very excited about, just to see a rise in the temperature. So if you're in a wintry place as well, we're almost there, aren't we? And if you're in a warmer climate, we're all a little bit jealous. So please appreciate it for the rest of us and enjoy it. This will be your weekly reading for the week of March 8th through the 14th. So, yeah, we are getting there, right? When it comes to moon energies this week, we've got the waning gibbous coming off from that big full moon last week and that eclipse energy. And that's a time of self-reflection, a time for us to make positive changes, get rid of bad habits, negative thinking, that sort of thing. We then have the third quarter moon that comes in on the 11th or 12th, depending on where you are. And a third quarter is also about reflection and also a good time for us we're kind of realizing our full potential when it comes to those things that we started during the new moon and seeing, kind of where we've landed. Did we accomplish our goals? Did we miss the mark a little bit? Do we need to make adjustments? Maybe we've accomplished the goal and next cycle is going to be something completely new that we're working on. Hopefully that's the way of it, and that's awesome. If not, we're going to make those adjustments and kind of make another go at it, right? So anyway, keep those moon energies in mind. We also will move into the waning crescent, and that's a time of calm and stability. And that's when we are starting to think of those things still. Again, it's a lot of reflection as we approach the new moon to think about what things we might want to start or continue on that new moon energy. So this will be an intuitive general reading for the energies that you may or may not encounter, Capricorn. So as always, please take what resonates here today and leave what doesn't on the table for someone else. And your overall message for this particular reading is you're very close to achieving your goal. Excuse me, and I was very close to sneezing, which I did. Okay, so as I'm shuffling the tarot, I don't know why I just got a chill all of a sudden. Right before I came in here, I was like, I feel like the temperature dropped a little. Again, I can't wait till summer's here. I hate freezing. I always feel like I'm just freezing. Anyway, as I'm shuffling, my fun weekly reminder is that you try to get out into nature this week. I know that, again, the winter chill, I think we're supposed to get a little warm up here this week, which is very nice. But hopefully where you are there, you do get at least a good little weather spot to just get outside. Maybe the skies clear up and there's no rain. You can get out under the night sky. Or if you find, that you can go take a walk somewhere if the weather's nice enough, or go somewhere where there's a view, or maybe even water. That nature is really a good time for all this self-reflection energy that we have with the moon. If you can get out in nature and do that, it's just awesome. So just hearing the sounds of nature, birds, put down the electronics, get out there, breathe in some fresh air, hopefully get some sunshine. So that is my fun weekly reminder for you this week, is that you just try to really get out and enjoy the miracle of nature. So all right, I swear I'll stop babbling here, Capricorn. Let's get into this reading. March 8th through the 14th, you are very close to achieving your goal. Your present energy right now is the Queen of Wands. So looks like you've been working with some sort of passion energy, something that you've just feel very passionate about. So this could be different for different Capricorns. For some of you, it could be a creative project, could be some sort of work project, could be a charitable project, something that you've just really been involved with, that you're feeling very passionate about, and that you've taken the time to really understand that passion and let it drive you. So that's pretty awesome. Your current situation right now is that you are also kind of trying to keep all the balls in the air. And maybe as you're, if you're close to achieving some sort of goal, maybe you're just like, how sometimes you're so focused on a goal that it's like, let the housework, let everything else go. Just, let me focus on this one thing, for a little time, where you might let other responsibilities go. So maybe you're kind of feeling like you're juggling those sorts of things. And if you have the ability to delegate on either of those fronts, whether it be in this project, or if that's outside of your home, even in your home, if there's someone there that can just pick up the pieces. Sometimes you just have to ask, I need a little extra help this week. I'm real busy with whatever else you've got going on, but it seems like you've got that energy of just trying to just keeping everything in the air, right? You're at the root of your situation this week is the devil card. So isn't that a Capricorn card? I know I keep saying I'm going to learn the astrology better and just make sure I know. I think I know some, but not all of it. But here comes the devil energy at the root of this situation, and probably to just kind of throw those false truths. If you are, again, if you're close to achieving a goal, don't let the devil come in with the fear of failure or the lack of confidence, all those things that the devil comes in and kind of throws your way to throw you a little bit off balance. So, I think the goal here is, if you are close to achieving a goal, is to really to try to maintain that focus, and don't let those negative thoughts come in. Don't let the devil come in and just put those negative things on you to sway you and to move you off of your goal. Just really keep your eye on that prize and focus, so that the devil comes in, and there's procrastination, there's that um you know uh again, like self-doubt, or being closed-minded about something, maybe being in denial about something. So there's all of those things that card comes with. So don't let that devil get your ear, and if it does, just try to shoo him away. Use whatever you can to do that. In your recent past here is the Eight of Cups, which had you exploring something, which maybe this is the thing that you're wrapping up right now. Maybe it's something you're thinking about after you finish after you achieve this goal. You might also have something already kind of waiting in the wings. Like, when I achieve this goal, I want to do this thing and move forward. But you move into the past, or move in from the past, thinking about your future and thinking about kind of exploring things. So is this something you're wrapping up that you're exploring, or do you have something kind of on the back burner that you're already thinking about? What is on your mind this week is the Two of Cups. So now we've got a couple of twos on the table here. But so on your mind is partnership and coming together and working together. And again, if it's about this juggling, if there's something that you can delegate, or at least ask for help with, make sure that you reach out to do that. If that's a partner or someone that you work with, or someone that is with you, just say, hey, I've got this load. Otherwise this devil gets to sneak in and have his way and say and kind of control what's going on in your head. But if you can reach out to a friend and say, hey, I'm feeling a little bit overwhelmed with whatever it is, try to just ask for help. Sometimes that's all you have to do. What is just ahead of you this week is the Star card. So it's it's like you're destined to move in a particular direction. The Star card is about that. It's about the destiny of that balance, of balancing the spiritual and the material, so that you're moving in the correct direction. It's about having guidance. It's about being on course. They say it's written in the stars. There's things that happen, there's just signs and things that you follow, that I mean, this is about getting to your destiny. So that, I feel like, if you are achieving a goal, it's something that you are supposed to achieve. So again, another way to just quell that devil voice. So make sure that, again, keep your eye on the prize, keep your eye on the star, keep your eye on that goal that you've had, so that you can get through there, get through to achieve whatever that is. In your advice position is the Wheel of Fortune. So, this is you evolving. This is your life changing because of this. You're on direction. So, once again, ask for help, reach out if you need a hand with something. Don't be afraid to ask someone around you, hey, I need a little hand with this thing. I'm starting to feel like, I'm kind of juggling everything. Ask for that help. And, the advice is to also just let those things change. Let the things that are changing and evolving happen, because it's inevitable. Again, something here that you're involved with is just kind of written in the stars, and it's probably the next step to something else that you've also kind of been thinking about. So there's something, again, that's on the back burner, that once you finish this thing, you've kind of already got the next thing lined up, if that makes sense. I mean, I'm not shocked, because Capricorns, you guys do tend to think of, every Capricorn that I've ever known is very think ahead and very well, doing things in step with, I got to do this thing and then this thing and this. So that makes complete sense to me, just for your sign. So, but that's your advice, is to just go ahead and let this change and evolve you into the next thing. What is beyond your control this week? is the Chariot. So you are already, again, like I said, thinking about some move. You're gathering information and you're finishing something up so that you can, there's some move that you want to make. The Chariot is about gathering. Nobody's moving in the Chariot, but they're getting ready to move. So I feel like this is, when you're gathering information and you're about to make a move, which might not happen until next week or the week after. These tarot readings are in a week, but of course life doesn't happen in a week. But you're gathering some information for some future move that I do feel like is inevitable. And again, it's been on the back burner for a while. All right. What is your secret desire, or what are you trying to avoid? And this is the card of collaboration with the Three of Pentacles. And many times this is about a creative project or a work project. It can be, but something that you're passionate about. And is it your secret desire to collaborate with someone in some creative manner? When it comes to whatever you have going on here, or are you trying to avoid that? It could be either, and this will be a different answer for different Capricorn. And it's just kind of like it's a fork in the road. So some of you are going to choose to collaborate, and that's going to take you closer to this evolution, or closer to the goals that you're trying to achieve. And some of you will want to go it alone and you will not want to collaborate. So you answer that. That's your big question of the week. And again, there's no right or wrong. It's just the which fork you decide to take at this time. In your outcome position is another card of moving towards the future. So now I want you to look here at both of these cards. Have you, the cups and the swords now here? This is you thinking about the future in very calm water. This is the only crazy kind of excited water is behind this guy. Everything else, if you look at the waters, everything's very calm, moving through. This is the only thing where you're just feeling a little topsy-turvy, but in the end, you're moving towards, in thought at least, in very calm waters, towards the future. And I think it's because you do achieve this goal. And the move that you're going to make towards the future, you're gathering that information and gathering momentum for. Let's see what's hidden from you here at the bottom of the deck. Okay, so this is the Nine of Wands, and this is, I was talking about reflection. That's a card for reflection. And even though that's the moon energy this week, I just don't feel like you even really have time for that this week. I think you're too busy with moving forward and finishing up something, which is fine. I mean, we're moving towards that new moon energy. And the third quarter is about, like, I need to finish this project. It's kind of that that, where am I? Oh, I've got X amount of days to get this finished. And I do kind of get that energy from you more than reflecting, which is great. And it's efficient. It's maybe not where the rest of us are. The rest of us are kind of like, where have I been this last month? I feel like where you've been, where you're headed, and it's like you just want to wrap up and get things done. So I will say again, look up angel number 22, see if that has any bearing, with both of those twos on the table. See if that has any bearing on your current situation right now, Capricorn. All right, let's get you a final message here from the Soul Oracle deck. Final message for Capricorn, March 8th through the 14th. All right. I feel you, card. We'll get you. Take the lead. Yeah. I don't think you're looking back anywhere. I think you're delegating, getting things done. You're moving towards the future, gathering information. I just think you're too busy to do a whole lot of reflecting. And it's because you're very close to achieving your goal. So go ahead and do that. If you have that kind of energy to put your head down and get the thing done, even though the moon energy might be, a little bit more like, well, where have we been? Where are we? You don't have to do that. So, especially if you're just so close to something, I know that feeling of like, let's just get it done. So, all right, let's see what you need to do in the way of self-care besides just work yourself into the ground, Capricorn, this week. You can take a minute to take care of yourself with all of this, with whatever, whatever this is that you're finishing up. All right. Your card this week is the card that says, speak up. If you avoid conflict to keep the peace, you start a war inside yourself. So, and maybe this is about speaking up here again with the two here, with people around you, and it is maybe time to delegate a little bit. So when you need help, it's okay to ask. I mean, I know that that's probably not a Capricorn thing to do, but sometimes you just have to do it, especially if you're so close and you just need a little bit of help, a little bit of support. Go ahead and ask whoever's around you that can help you in whatever way so that you can get there, so that, you can move into your future in a very calm and nice way, just like the card says. So, Capricorn, I wish you the best of luck with all of this week. I do hope that you can move forward and complete whatever it is. I can kind of feel an intensity as I'm doing this reading. Just like it's just kind of a tense feeling that I'm having. So take a breath after next week. When you reach whatever this goal, make sure that you do take some time to relax. But maybe you do need to speak up some this week, and that's fine. So I hope there was something again that you can take from this reading. If you're comfortable sharing, drop me a comment down below. If you're too busy to, I get it. You're very busy this week. Also, hitting like and subscribe would be awesome for me because that helps you find me next week. I think that's really cool. It also helps me out a lot. So thanks so much for doing that in advance. And Capricorn, good luck with this, and I will see you next week. Bye bye.